Hey, I'm Leah Dubs, and I'm a writer. That's it. A few months ago, I did a review on J. Cole's most recent album, Might Delete Later. I'm back today to do a review on his 2016 album, For Your Eyez Only. I love this album because it is such a poetic sounding album, which is such a huge part of J. Cole, the character rapper. So I want to sort of dig through this album a little bit and explore this album through J. Cole, the character rapper, and talk through some of my favorite parts of the album. J. Cole is one of my favorite artists because of his style of writing. And I also like the character rapper that he is. I think it's important for us to separate the artist from the person. But J. Cole, it's difficult to separate J. Cole the person from J. Cole the artist, because as an artist, he is very emotional. He speaks about his emotions and is masterful at expressing them with words. So first, I want to try to break down J. Cole the artist into three major chunks. Poet would be the first element of J. Cole the artist. Secondly, I would say that he is sort of unassuming. He's unassuming in the way he carries himself through fame. He often refers to himself as just a regular guy and feels he relates to the average Joe person. His lyrics can be a little unassuming as well. He is not very cryptic at all. What is so extraordinary about J. Cole is that he is able to word very deep, very intense emotions in ways that is very easy for anyone to understand and to be able to relate to. Third, he is very deeply tied to Black culture and often speaks on behalf of the Black community and the struggles. He often refers to his personal connection with the struggles of the past, current struggles, and his thoughtfulness on why those things happen and solutions and possible solutions for a better future. Okay, and now for the good stuff. The album was released in 2016. There's so much in this album that I believe is timeless. The first song, From Whom the Bell Tolls. This song really sets the tone for the entire album. The tone honestly reminds me of Negro spirituals. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Words are very dangerous now. An alternative phrase that I read online is called sorrow songs. These are songs that Black American slaves would sing as they're working on the plantation. It is the dawn of Black American music. I think it is beautiful music mainly because of the expressive emotion in which these sorrow songs were sung. To me, it has that tone. It is a very sorrowful song. It is beautiful. There's these beautiful bells in the background, this horn playing in the background. It almost sounds like he's crying the rap. Very emotional stuff. And what a great homage to Black American history, which is, of course, a big part of who J. Cole is as an artist. Ville Mentality. This one was very interesting to me. In the first verse, he seems like he's bemoaning about his struggles as a celebrity. And in the second verse, he sort of is outlining what the Ville mentality is. And it's a combination of a lot of maybe ignorance and violence, but of strength and character too. And J. Cole is always playing with those two ideas. And he does not see everybody that's been in the system as a deadbeat criminal. He sees them as human beings, and he's trying to tell their story. Another thing I like about this song in particular was there was a girl who was telling a very sad story, but her tone was very cold. It was a little chilling. As a mother, it was a little chilling to hear her tell this story in a very casual tone. And this speaks to this message that J. Cole always has of having to put on a facade and having to be strong because of these really bad circumstances. There might be a little bit of a reach there on that one, but it seems to be this little girl is representative of the Ville mentality. Again, there is a pride and a hardness and a strength coupled with a lot of pain and sorrow and hardship. She's Mine, part 1. I like this too for the J. Cole character rapper story. J. Cole, the character rapper, not the person, is always grounding himself in his morals, which often seem to be love and self-respect and humility. I like that he says, I don't want to die anymore, especially after the Ville Mentality songs. He's shedding some of that mentality and expressing that maybe there is a love worth living for, that the reason to keep fighting is for love and closeness. Every song on the album is very poetic, so I could read the entire album in a book and it would feel like a book of poetry. The next song, Change, I like this song and I like this one after She's Mine Part 1 because it seems as though maybe J. Cole, the character rapper, has now grounded himself in this love, and maybe that has recalibrated his perspective in life. This definitely is more hopeful and encouraging. He is on the side of his community always. And here he's saying the responsibility is putting the responsibility on the individual in a very kind and loving way. This sound was so nostalgic. It really reminded me of summertime barbecue with a pool on a hot ass slab of concrete and chalk and fireflies and ladybugs. I vibed with this one a whole lot. And at the end of this song, he tells a very tragic story about his friend getting killed, which the story itself is very sad, but he wrapped it so beautifully. And I think this also, I'm gonna say that this is part of his unassumingness too, because he's such a beautiful writer and he raps so beautifully. Sometimes you don't even realize the words that he's using and the sentiments that he is expressing are very deep and very dark. He ends the song with sort of a sermon where he's encouraging, or he's saying what it is he wants the listener to hear, the message that he is trying to get across to the listener. He just go ahead and it just lays it out here. Neighbors is another one of my favorite songs on the album. It starts off with him bemoaning a little bit about his circumstances, and now he's escaped to this place where he thought he would find peace, and turns out he has not found peace. And it is the eternal battle of the soul, a dark cloud above every single person's head that we try to escape, we try to run from, and realize that we're confronted with the same reality. And in his case, it is a reality of being misjudged, judging him too quickly because of his background, and that background was not of his choosing. I'm gonna try to describe this correctly. I love the way that he spits and even the sound of his voice. I'm waiting for J. Cole to get on the Calm app, okay? I need to meditate to some bars before I go to bed. He is rapping so beautifully, and it's loving, it's gentle, it's warm feeling, heartfelt. The neighbors think I'm selling dope, selling dope, selling dope. Then he says, motherfucker, I am. And that part of it is a big part of J. Cole's story, is that he's been hardened by this life that he's had to live. J. Cole, the character rapper. I know nothing about J. Cole, the man. This is just the artist and the music and the things that he's saying in his music. He says, I am, and that's that hardened part of him that's always coming out. It's always popping up in his lyrics every now and then. Then he is reiterating to the listener that I was sort of minding my business. You thought I was selling dope for no reason. I am, but that still does not mean that I am the person that you think that I am. It is a common bullet point for a lot of his music. The way he speaks about himself and the way he expresses his emotion and how he sees other people suffering as well. Now, folding clothes, that one was, hey, I wanna fold clothes for you. I listen to this when I'm folding clothes. It's so cute. My favorite line in that song is the Raisin Bran with some bananas and some almond milk. I love that. I smile every time I hear this song. I smile. J. Cole is so good at expressing emotions that however he's feeling in any song, whatever emotion he's putting out in that song, that's how I feel. If he's mad in a song, I'm mad. If he's happy, if he's sad, it don't matter. I'm able to feel this emotion coming, just really screaming out of the music. Another thing he does in this song is he puts that poem at the end when he's talking about folding clothes. He's being lighthearted and he's talking about a connection with a woman outside of sex, and he wants to fold clothes, just a really laid back, unassuming kind of thing to do. Drink almond milk and to be a different person than who he is, not necessarily pretending to be, but to be a different person than he feels like he has to be out in the world for survival's sake. The poem is beautifully written. Like, he can write a poetic sounding song and then put a poem at the end. What a treat. And they're both gold. The last but not least is For Your Eyez Only. This is pretty lengthy. Lot of bars in this. What I like about this super lengthy, super bar-alicious song is that you can just tell, like, he just want to rap. He just rap for like 5 minutes straight. I think that's so dope. I love when rappers do that because he's such a great storyteller. You don't get bored as he's going and taking you on this journey. This For Your Eyez Only, I started to Google it because I heard the album through, and this For Your Eyez Only song really changed the way that I heard the album the second time. I was a little confused because then I was like, wait, so is this song his friend's song? He write the album with dude and then locked it in a vault? Is it released because he died? I didn't know what was. I had a lot of questions. I started to Google it, but I stopped myself because I'm like, no, this is where the good stuff is to sit there and think about it and come up with ideas and share ideas with other human beings. So you have your ideas, please do share. But here is mine. He is talking to his friend who has an inkling that he might be killed soon. So I think maybe his friend has told him his story, or his friend has maybe outlined some important things that he wants to tell his daughter. With these facts that he gets from his friend, these specific things that he gets from his friend, and what he already knows about him because they're childhood friends, I believe. J. Cole then writes this album to give a first-person point of view for his friend who died. J. Cole he's so good at emotion. He's just so good at that. I don't know if he's good at feeling it, and then maybe that's what makes him good at being able to express it, but he's so good at that. And I even love that he is good at expressing other people's emotions. As a poet, he can express just emotion. He can see what's going on in the community with Black people and talk to people who have different stories than he does and absorb that somehow and then regurgitate it in rhyme. That is an amazing skill. It is super inspiring. J. Cole still remains one of my favorite, for sure, is an artist that you can just dig through his catalog and get a lot out of. I want to know what you guys thought about this album. What other little gems you may have found. Please get in the comments and chat me up. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back again because I can't stop, won't stop. And I hope to see you when we return. Bye-bye and namaste.